I knew that she needed a mom who was functioning and feeling at her best so that she had someone to look up to. She had someone to follow. That was my why. I needed to show my daughter what it meant to be strong, healthy, confident, strong physically, mentally, and emotionally. And so I began my own postpartum weight loss journey. Hi, Mama, and welcome to the very first episode of the Nourished and Thriving Mama podcast. I'm Candice, and I am so glad that you're here with me today. Quickly introduce myself. I'm a mom who gained 60 pounds during pregnancy, and after lots of ups and downs, I went on to losing over 70 pounds, and I've kept that weight off for over 4 years now. I've been a wellness coach for over 12 years, and I'm the founder of Nourish and Thrive, which is a 6-month holistic weight loss and wellness coaching program. And I call this your secret weapon to sustainable weight loss, unstoppable confidence, and a body that you love after kids. This podcast is a space where you can just come as you are. It's for moms who want to feel healthy, confident, and love themselves again. Maybe even start to love themselves for the very first time. But it's going to be here that we're going to talk about ways to nourish your body, your mind, your soul, so you can just truly thrive as a mom. And this isn't about restriction, judgment. It's about finding real and practical ways that you can feel good in your body after having kids and live a life that feels fulfilling as a mom. So in future episodes, I'm going to share a lot of practical tips for things, nutrition, healthy eating, tips and tricks to make meal prep and planning easier. I know we can all use that. Weight loss, mindset, fitness, going into some rest and resilience, everything mom wellness. We'll talk about the real struggles, the hard days, how to get through them and not just surviving, but actually thriving. You'll hear stories from moms who've been in the thick of it, maybe just like you. I'm going to interview some amazing experts who can just help you along the way. My hope is that this podcast becomes like the go-to for when you need encouragement, support, or just like a reminder that it's okay to put yourself first sometimes. I know that sounds hard, especially being a mom. Everyone seems to go ahead of you. So let me share with you my story. Growing up, I was always really passionate about food and fitness. I used to play competitive soccer. I was very athletic, and I loved cooking. I went on to be a chef, and I had dreams of having my own catering business. I just love it. I love the event atmosphere. But after an accident leaving work, I fell down these icy loading dock stairs. It was Christmas Eve. So wonderful. And afterwards, I realized that I was not really able to quickly get back into the kitchen again and stand in the kitchen for hours and hours on end because I was still pretty injured and they were trying to rush me back to work. So I had to quit my job that I loved. But then I decided to go back to school and pursue my master's in nutrition. And I fell in love with all things weight loss and sports nutrition. I just loved like the what to eat before a workout, what to eat after a workout, how to like push yourself. I ended up running some marathons because I really got into the nutrition and fueling yourself to be able to do crazy stuff. I got a job working in weight loss for Jenny Craig, which I loved. Then I went on to work in medical weight loss. I loved the atmosphere of getting to work one-on-one, helping people lose weight, changing their lives, seeing how much better things get for them. It's just so rewarding. But then things changed. During my pregnancy, I gained 60 pounds, all while coaching my one-on-one clients for their weight loss, which was slightly embarrassing because here I am trying to help them lose weight while I'm just packing on the pounds. And yeah, I know I'm pregnant. Yeah. But the amount of weight I was gaining and how rapidly it was happening, it shouldn't have been happening like that. Thank you, gestational diabetes, for that, which I'll go into this in the future episodes because I threw up my entire pregnancy, had gestational diabetes, but still managed to gain 60 pounds. Made no sense to me. But anyways, I just felt so uncomfortable in my own skin. And I was terrified, thinking, am I ever going to feel like myself again? Am I going to be trapped in this body that I'm just like suffering in? How am I going to lose all this weight? And then when she's here, how am I going to navigate being a mom, losing the weight? It just was so overwhelming. And I had so many thoughts swirling around my head. What about my new clients when they come back to work and they don't know that I had a baby? How are they going to judge me because I'm overweight? Like, I had so many things swirling through my head, things I shouldn't even be worrying about. I should be just letting, going through the process, having my daughter healthy and be happy with that. But this, not how mom life works. Let's be honest. We've got a million things in our head nonstop. But I remember this moment when I was just looking in the mirror and I did not recognize the person that was looking back at me at all. It just, I felt lost in my body. I felt like I was in a shell of somebody else. I was exhausted. Taking a shower took everything out of me. I was extremely insecure. I was crying every day. I was just surviving through my days to try to get to the next one. It was just so overwhelming. And then the responsibility of soon to being a mom. It's a lot. But you know what? When my daughter was born, everything changed. And I knew I needed to be a positive and healthy role model for her. I knew that she needed a mom who was functioning and feeling at her best so that she had someone to look up to. She had someone to follow. And that became one of my strongest driving forces for why I needed to get the weight off. That was my why. I needed to show my daughter what it meant to be strong, healthy, confident, strong physically, mentally, and emotionally. And so I began my own postpartum weight loss journey. And I started very slowly because I couldn't do very much. I'll go into more details in that in the future, but we'll be here all day if I tell you everything. But I was, trying to balance breastfeeding my daughter with weight loss, trying not to lose my supply, trying to get in exercise, adjusting to being a new mom, eventually going back to work. And eventually everything just started kind of falling into place. And it was different. This was different. Instead of focusing on diets, strict routines, I found a very sustainable approach for myself. And I had to get creative and work within the realities of being a mom and working full time, plus juggling breastfeeding. So I had to figure out how this was going to work for me, how I was going to fit what I needed to do into my life. And during COVID, while I was on my journey in losing weight, I was watching so many of my previous clients just struggle. And most of them were gaining all of their weight back. I was still going to work, but things had kind of shut down and people were kind of just having meetings sort of with me, but they weren't really fully coming in. So it was a really weird time frame. But once things kind of calmed down and everyone started coming back into the office again, it was like every single one of my amazing success stories, people who lost 120 plus pounds, they had gained all their weight back. And I realized quickly that these restrictive protocols that they were following, that they were supposed to follow, because that was my role in the medical weight loss, was that they had to follow these protocols. I realized that that was not setting them up for their best success. It wasn't helping them create lasting changes. They really only knew how to diet or go completely crazy, because most of them would lose their weight and then disappear on me. And I never got to work with people for maintenance because they felt like they had it. They felt like they had it handled, and they would disappear and then they would come back having gained everything. I urged them over and over again to stay with me so I can help them maintain their weight. And it started to eat away at my soul. because I felt like the work I was doing wasn't really making the difference in people's lives that I wanted it to. Because I saw how happy people were when they lost the weight, how many things that they could do that they couldn't do before. And I was like, I don't understand how you've gone back to what you said you never wanted to go back to. And so I knew that they really needed more than the protocols that were at my job. They needed a holistic, sustainable approach, and they needed to be okay with having slower weight loss. And I struggled for a while with this because I was watching these clients come in to try to lose weight and struggle. And here I am maintaining my weight for a couple of years. And I'm watching people gain and lose the same weight over and over again, following the way I was told that I needed to do in my medical weight loss job. So I started my own business because I was done with that. I was done with having to follow these specific protocols and watching people not get the help that they really needed to have. So that's why I started my own business. And I decided that I really wanted to focus specifically with moms because of how great I felt in my body. And after being in such a dark place, I didn't want other moms to be trapped in that place I used to be. I wanted to help them get out of that and just really get to enjoy life. I don't want moms to feel trapped. I don't want them to not be able to enjoy their children, to not be able to get to run around with them because they feel held back or restricted by their weight, or they're too exhausted to be able to go out there and do things, or they're too afraid to put on a bathing suit to go to the pool with their kids. So then they just don't go, or they're in the corner wearing yoga pants and a sweatshirt, like covering up and not getting to splash around in the pool with their kids. These little everyday moments that I get to enjoy with my daughter that are so freaking amazing, and they're things I'm never going to forget in my life because it's just incredible. Those are things that I want for all moms. All moms should get to enjoy their children. They should get to enjoy the simple everyday moments and not feel held back. So I created this amazing coaching program, taking my knowledge and my personal experience and combining it with accountability and support. I wanted to give moms all the tools to create a healthy, balanced life that can fit into your life as a mom. But anyways, this podcast is going to be an extension of that dream so that I can reach even more moms and women out there to share what I've learned and to help you see that you're stronger and more capable than you may have ever even known, and that you're not alone in this. And I know that being a mom is one of the most beautiful yet challenging experiences. Like, your whole life changes and suddenly it's not just about you. And you might feel this pressure to like snap back, bounce back, or quickly look like you didn't just carry a human being for 9 months and have your organs get rearranged. But we're not given the grace we need. And social media often portrays a much different story than the struggles that most women go through, because social media likes fast, dramatic, and wow factors. And me taking 16 months to lose 70 pounds doesn't sound as great as getting back to pre-baby weight in only 6 weeks, which is craziness, okay? Because if that's what you're seeing, of course you're going to feel this overwhelming pressure to hurry up because 6 weeks is nothing. Like, have you even gone to the doctor yet for a checkup? Are you even cleared for exercise yet? Like, that's crazy. It takes so much longer. And it's so easy to feel overwhelmed with the constant juggle of needing to take care of a baby, finding time for yourself, trying to feel good about your body, and then all the crazy hormone changes that are doing all sorts of crazy things. We need to give ourselves some grace. And sometimes all of this craziness leaves us feeling like we're falling short, and we question whether what we're doing is good enough, or we even may fall into a place where we just completely ignore ourselves and just take care of everyone else instead because that's easier. So I want this podcast to be a space where we can talk about the struggles openly. I want you to feel like you're not alone in this. Quick plug here for those who want more in-depth support. My program, Nourished and Thrive, is built around 6 pillars, each one designed to help you make real, lasting changes. So if you need more in-depth support with your nutrition, your fitness, your mindset, all the things, we dive really deep in this program. And I help guide you into creating routines and habits that are going to fit into your life as a mom, not you having to try to follow these cookie cutter approaches that don't take into account that you're a mom with children, with a life, with all these things, and trying to juggle everything. Now, each of these pillars is a little piece of the puzzle that helped me lose the weight and keep it off, rebuild my strength and my confidence. And I am so excited to share with you all of this here. Now, if you want to check out some of my free resources, I'm going to drop them in the show notes. Or if you want to join my program, I'll drop a link for that below. But I cannot wait to start building this podcast so you can binge it and enjoy it and have something amazing to look forward to and something where you can feel seen and heard. Next week, I'm going to dive deep into pressures, judgments that many of us feel postpartum. I'll share my own experiences and the mindset shifts that helped me overcome them. It's a vulnerable topic. Hopefully, I don't cry when I'm thinking of what I'm going to tell you about. But this is going to be one where I think we need more discussion on this and we need to be more open about what we're really feeling postpartum about ourselves. Thank you so much for being here and for sharing this moment with me. I want you to know that you're part of a community now, a community that understands you, supports you, and wants to see you truly thrive in motherhood. So thank you for being here. If you found anything helpful in this very first podcast, please share this. Share it with a mom who might need to be hearing what we're going to be talking about in the future. I can't wait for this to grow into something incredible to help millions of moms out there. If you want, share it on your stories. I'll repost your stories. I cannot wait for future episodes to come. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next one. 22 minutes.